bathing in Jimmy's blood. Basking.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Let's go and check out 10 WWE wrestling moves that are not fake. There's a lot of moves out there when, especially you guys nowadays, when I see them punching each other, I'm like, come on guys, we all know these are not real punches. You're not even putting the force into it, and the impact doesn't even sound like it, and like the physics doesn't allow it to look like it is real. Yeah, well, I guess these ones that we're gonna check out now are not those punches.
We've all heard the disclaimer, whatever you do, please don't try this at home.
Yep.
But as you're about to see, this also applies in the ring. Not too long ago, we covered wrestling moves that can't be faked or hurt like hell, and you begged for more, so grab some Advil as we count down 11 more. Number 1. The German suplex. The German suplex is particularly tricky because of the potential for landing on the neck. While some of these moves may seem relatively safe, which is the idea behind professional wrestling, this changes when the moves are performed on a daily basis. Yes, a German suplex sees an opponent land on their shoulders, but this is jarring when it happens repeatedly. Of more concern is the heightened danger because one slip up and a person could come crashing down on their neck. This is a move which in some cases can be equally dangerous for the person executing it and the person receiving it, depending on where the shoulders or neck land. Number 2. The Styles Clash. This finisher has been part of AJ Styles' moveset for a number of years, using it in TNA, Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. The move has been perfected by Styles, but there have been a handful of occasions where the move has gone terribly wrong.
Oh no.
Former WWE superstar Yoshitatsu suffered 2 broken bones in the neck after inadvertently tucking it in when he received the move in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, why did he? Oh my god. Bro, what was he doing with his head there? He literally bent his head. It wasn't even the fault of the other wrestler. His head was supposed to be like straight up with his spine, so the damage doesn't go first on the head. Oh my god, like you should know that. You should know better.
Though Styles initially managed to bring the move over to WWE, it was banned very quickly, in fear that the same injury would occur in the company.
Though.
Even when it's used safely, the idea that there is no way to protect your face as it's driven onto the mat would no doubt be uncomfortable. Especially this one performed onto the chair. He would alternatively adopt the phenomenal forearm as his finisher, which would no doubt be safer and hurt less. Number 3. The Diving Double Foot Stomp. WWE's United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura once told that when you're on the receiving end of this move, it's like being stabbed in the chest, as it involves your opponent climbing to the top of the turnbuckle and driving both of his legs onto his opponent's chest, making for a devastating move. Wrestlers who use the move must proceed with caution. They need to carry it out with as little force as possible and position the impact correctly. If too much pressure is applied or the positioning isn't right, there's a good chance the move could cause a sternal fracture, a fracture that could occur in the sternum or breastbone. Whilst former WWE Universal Champion Finn Balor uses the move as his finisher, the coup de grace, he has perfected it over time. But that doesn't mean that it can't go wrong, as shown by independent wrestler Low Ki, who might have used a bit too much force.
Oh, this might be
I don't want to see it!
double stop! Oh, God!
Number 4. The Camel Clutch.
That looks so
Ever think about what it would be like to be in a camel clutch? Whether it's the pressure on your back, your neck, or the added weight of an opponent sitting on you, this is a move that's likely to hurt an opponent if the person executing it slips in the slightest. However, there's a big difference between the old school camel clutch and the contemporary version. Today's camel clutch looks even less painful because most people taking the move are on their knees rather than keeping their legs extended, making it into a glorified chin lock. Having the legs extended stretches out the legs and makes the person taking the move more vulnerable should someone such as the Iron Sheik decide to make them humble. Number 5. The Burning Hammer. There are several reasons why this move, innovated by Kyoko Ino and immortalized by Kenta Kobashi, has been listed as one of the most dangerous wrestling moves in the world.
Oh my god.
Apart from almost landing completely on your neck, there is no
literally.
protection given by the opponent. In most variations of a pile driver, there is at least some sort of protection involved that would prevent injury. With a burning hammer, there is nothing to stop your head or your neck from hitting the mat first. Surprisingly, even with WWE's ongoing concussion lawsuit, with WWE attempting to ban any move remotely dangerous towards its wrestlers, Brian Kendrick performed the infamous move during the Cruiserweight Classic Tournament quarterfinals against Kota Ibushi, getting the win with it. Number 6. The Pile Driver. There's a reason the WWE banned the pile driver. It's a risky move that, when done improperly, can shorten or end a superstar's
And
career.
this whole, like, this video is even like so many years old. Like with Kevin Owens' situation right now and having the pile driver kind of like the banned move back, like you can still see how dangerous it is and how wrong it can get like real quick.
While there's no denying the pile driver looks impressive, Stone Cold Steve Austin's career was shortened thanks to a botched pile driver by Owen Hart, and in hindsight, the WWE decided the move wasn't cool enough that it outweighed the potential injuries. Although the move is still used outside the WWE, and even in the company on rare occasions after special dispensation from Vince McMahon, it doesn't take much for the person on the receiving end to hope the wrestler performing the move knows exactly what he's doing. Number 7. The Shooting Star Press. There are many wrestling moves that look sweet as hell, but can leave a wrestler confined to a wheelchair if they go wrong.
Cool.
One such move is the Shooting Star Press, a move which nearly ended Brock Lesnar's career during his 2003 match against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19.
No wonder he doesn't want to come back.
Lesnar performed the move, which he'd used during his time in WWE's developmental territory, but miscalculated, missing Angle and landing hard on his neck. Some believe the only thing that saved Lesnar from a serious injury was his considerable musculature, particularly around his neck and back. In 2017, Kurt Angle remembered the legendary botch. First of all, this is selfish, but I was like, damn, he broke his neck. I'm gonna have to hold this title another month. Then I was concerned about him because he wasn't responding. When I covered him, he did kick out. I did tell him to kick out and he kicked out. I remember asking him, can you give me an F5? He didn't respond. I was getting really worried. I started picking him up. I said, could you F5 me? He said, I think so, and he did. Brock's a pro. He came out of that.
With a
Let's face it,
broken
that's one of the most
neck.
famous moves in WrestleMania history. It's because he came up short and everybody remembers that. If you want a WrestleMania type of memory, that's a good one. Unfortunately, Brock got his bell rung, but he didn't have any long-term damage, and thank God for that. I'm very proud of that match. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Wow, the fact
Number
that
8.
like the match where he broke his neck is your favorite of all time, bro. Like what?
The Frog Splash. Whether it's RVD's 5-star Frog Splash, Kevin Owens' version, or the version popularized by the late great Eddie Guerrero, the
See,
Frog
this is like really interesting that this is a dangerous move when in genuality it looks kinda like easy mode because you're landing on all four. Like if one of or fall messes up, you have 3 more. You know what I mean? Like how could it go wrong? The only way is if somehow you end up positioning yourself not correctly on the other wrestler.
Splash is one of wrestling's coolest looking finishing moves. Luchador La Feria is said to have been the first wrestler to use it, but it's long been associated with Eddie Guerrero. However, as Latino Heat showed in his debut match in the WWF, it can be a difficult move to pull off without injuring yourself, as the person executing it has to take extra care so they don't hurt their opponent.
Yeah.
You would think the move is most likely to destroy the abdomen, but Guerrero injured himself during his first WWF match when he broke his elbow after a frog splash went wrong. Number 9. The Stone Cold Stunner. Stone Cold Steve Austin's finisher defined his career, making for conclusions to matches that were nothing short of epic, as well as side-splitting moments whenever he stunned Mr. McMahon. Although the move looks relatively easy to deliver and shouldn't prove to be physically demanding, it exacted a heavy price from the Texas Rattlesnake because it caused a stiff bump to his tailbone every time he performed it.
Yeah.
Over time, Austin's nightly use of the move aggravated his spinal column, which was
Yeah.
already hurting from the previously mentioned injury due to Owen Hart's
Oh, poor
botched
guy.
pile driver. Number 10. The Torture Rack. While some fans claim watching any match involving Lex Luger was akin to human torture, we're talking about Luger's finisher, the Torture Rack, a backbreaker submission that saw Lex Luger place an opponent on his shoulders and crank their spinal column until they submitted. While the move looks like a simple matter of strength and balance, there's much more to it than simply holding someone up. Watch Luger perform the move and you'll notice the total package bouncing his opponent as he holds him up, putting extra weight on his shoulders, his back, and even his quads. And number 11, the vertebreaker. While a pile driver can be a dangerous move, its variation the vertebreaker can increase the danger tenfold. The move involves lifting up an opponent in an inverted position and then driving them straight into the mat.
Okay, thank God this one is not there anymore. You cannot even see your opponent and how they are positioned. You don't know when you are even ready to make it and if they are ready with their neck up this time. Like, nah, brother. This is terrible. This is literally a recipe for disaster.
Whilst the Undertaker's tombstone piledriver looks devastating, it's relatively safe when delivering it, as the head is nowhere near the mat.
Yeah.
The same can't be said for the vertebreaker, where there's no choice but to land your opponent on his neck, or in worst case scenario, his head. WCW's Shane Helms, aka the Hurricane, used the vertebreaker during his time in WCW, but found himself forced to abandon the move shortly after he began his WWE run. In a 2016 interview, Helms discussed the reason behind it. At the time, there had been a string of neck surgeries in WWE, and they were getting away from anything where you landed on your neck. Even German suplexes were modified. You wouldn't see guys doing the same Japanese style where they drop someone on their head. It was something I knew was coming anyway. I was prepared for it. I was off and running as the Hurricane, so I didn't need that. Although the move was initially banned, it returned of all places at a WWE house show. Well guys, there you have it. 11 more wrestling moves that can't be faked or hurt like hell. Are there any more that we've missed out on?
I genuinely think wrestling can still be fun and entertaining without those high risks. As long as you can make it look and seem and sound more dangerous than it is. It's all about how you act it out, how you sell it out. So I genuinely don't want to see my favorite wrestlers getting injured for my entertainment. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.